Thank you, Deepa ma'am, for wonderful information.
Thanks to you also.
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am, you're audible. You can continue.
Okay. Ma'am, can you share the screen?
Sorry, ma'am.
Can you share my screen?
Yeah, ma'am. It's one minute. Ma'am, actually, I didn't got your PPT or something like that. So, you will be sharing your screen? Or should I stop the presentation?
Wait a minute, ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
Can you share my screen?
Actually, ma'am, I haven't got your PPT or something, so from your side.
I guess, Ms. Mittal, you can share your screen directly.
Yeah, ma'am, you can directly share your screen. It's not issue.
Actually, I am not getting any link.
There's no link. Actually, there is a option in the
Option,
mid more like, yeah.
This one?
one arrow option you have in the middle.
A rectangle with arrow in it. If you just
नहीं आ रहा.
I'll just show you the option, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, so ma'am, like this, I hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So this blue color option you will be having in your screen also. You can just use that to present your screen. This arrow option.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it. This one. Is it visible?
No, ma'am. Actually, we can't see. You can just share or present your entire screen so that we can see that.
Okay. Actually, I'm not getting any option, ma'am.
no issues, Ms. Mittal. You can even like give a small speech and that would suffice.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect. Just share.
Yeah, ma'am. Now we can see your screen. It's
Okay.
visible.
So we are discussing about Startup India. But first of all, I want to tell what is startup. A startup company is a freshly created business entity formed by one or more entrepreneurs with the goal of developing and bringing new products to the market. Even our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji has called the startup as the backbone of India and declared January 16 as National Startups Day. So now a question arises, who can apply for startup? A private limited company, a partnership firm, or a LLP can apply for startup. Now, the next point is, what are the legal concerns for startups? This is the major topic we are discussing on. So, shall we start?
Yeah, ma'am. You can start.
Okay. First point is absence of agreement. An agreement is must for entering into any contract or a kind of contract, that is when a professional is entering into contract with a third party or a person who is going to register his startup, or we can say a founder of the startup, or we can say the promoter in common language, the person who has conceived an idea to form a startup or register a startup. So if the agreement is not present, it can have various consequences. So to avoid those consequences, it is better to draft an agreement and use it for future references, because it specifies the terms and conditions which needs to be complied, or define the roles or responsibilities and liabilities of both the parties, and it will lay foundation for co-founder relationship and terms. It will further define the modes of operation of the firm and contribution of each party. Thus, in the absence of these agreements, there would be a chance of mismanagement. So, it is better that we should have an agreement before entering into a contractual relationship or registering a startup. Now, the next point is confidentiality agreement, or we can say it as non disclosure agreement. The confidentiality agreement or non disclosure agreement is an agreement which puts the obligation on the parties that they will not divulge any confidential information or the concept of the company to anybody outside the firm. So now the question arises, what is the need of confidentiality agreement? This is required basically when any person wants to register his or her startup as a partnership firm or a private company or any LLP, because they have a thought in their mind that their ideas will be stolen or theft by the person to whom they are giving the opportunity to register their startup. Then in that case, non-disclosure agreement is required. It would explicitly spell out the ramifications of the breach of the non-disclosure agreement. In those agreements, every type of legal conditions and terms would be mentioned. Thus, it is recommended that any startup should enter into a confidentiality agreement or non disclosure agreement so as to secure their ideas with their workers, co founders, or anybody else who has access to private information or ideas. So now the next point is the protection of IPRs. As already discussed by everyone, that IPR is a basic requirement. It will be required in every cases. Like if we are having any idea of any technology related startup, as in if any person has developed a technology which has not already been acquired by someone, then he will have a mind thought that it will be stolen. Then he will check that which type of intellectual property right would it be covered in. It would be covered under the patent act. Then it uh, then he should register as a patent so that it will help the startup to register in a better way. Similarly, the trademarks or copyright or designs. Different type of intellectual property rights are there. First of all, we are discussing about patents. Patents are the type of intellectual property right that a startup should attempt to preserve. If startup is working on technological items or technical methods of accomplishing a task, and once it is registered, the owner can use it exclusively for a period of 20 years. However, if he fails to register his invention, anyone can replicate his concept. It can harmfully impact the inventor. So, this is the definition of patent. It is a type of intellectual property right which gives the owner a legal right to exclude all others from making, using, or selling an invention for a limited period of years in exchange for publishing and enabling disclosure of invention. So, the next topic is copyright. So everyone is worried which topics are covered under copyright, which type of works are covered under copyright. This is the presentation regarding which type of works are covered under copyright. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay. Basically, copyright protects the literary works like any book or dramatic, such as movies or a drama or a show, a musical work, as in the lyrics or the tone or any song, artistic, any type of painting or any painting related works, architectural works, as in some type of building or the type of architectural works, as in the presentation of the building in the real forms. The next slide is the copyright. Which type of works are not characterized as copyright? As in, everyone knows ideas. Someone has an idea in his mind, and and he wants to know whether it is a copyright. No, the ideas does not covered under the copyright or any type of fact. As in, today is Monday. It is a fact, and it cannot be copyrighted. Some type of data, any entry, that any concept, any type of concept which has been made, or any system or methods or principles or discoveries, these are covered under patent, not under copyright. Any name, these are covered under trademark. So now the definition of copyright. The startup can copyright for its software programs, periodicals, articles, study, or concept expressed on paper, as well as other literary or artistic work. And it will prohibit others from utilizing the creator's creation for duration of the creator's life and for 60 years after his death. So now the most awaited, what is a trademark? Now this PPT briefly explain what is a trademark. Any type of distinctive mark or any identification of goods or services or any word or a symbol or any logo. It can be covered under trademark. If time permit, we will discuss further on trademark.
Yeah, ma'am, you can continue.
Trademark or a service mark, it can be also known as. Thus, with when deciding on a trademark, we need to specify which type of trademark we are checking. It can be a trade name or it can be a logo, or we should decide it on the basis of few things, that it should be easy to pronounce, attractive and distinctive. National implication of the marks. We should keep in mind that after the registration of the trademark, it will be an internationally recognized brand too if we are getting it internationally registered. Similarly, if we are registering it in India itself, then it can become a registered brand in India too. So we should keep in mind that the trademark should be easy to pronounce, it should be attractive in its looks, and it should be distinctive. If it is not distinctive, it can be objected by the department, as in already the same trade name or the logo has already been registered under the trademark registry. So it is better that while choosing the trademark or trade name, we should properly check the e-register or public search of trademark. For further details, we will discuss over a call or any type of message. So next point is employment contracts. So while hiring a startup, sorry, while hiring any professional, startup should acquire a offer letter signed with its employees. So everyone is confused by mentioning the employment contract as a legal concern for registering a startup. It is important because while we are entering into any agreement or a contract with the professional or any person involved for registering our startup, we need to conduct a agreement, or we can say any contract. It is employment contract if we are hiring any employee. So it should include the office hours, salary, the job title, super authority, or the terms and conditions for the termination of employment. These conditions may include that in case of the employee is resigning by himself, or in the case of termination by the company, he will not disclose the further the secrets or the ideas for registering the startup. So it is mandatory that it should be included in the startup so that it can be properly working. Any query?
Okay, so I would just like to ask the audience if they have any doubts, they can ask her out.
Students, if any one of you has any doubt, you can unmute yourself and speak. Ms. Vattal. Or else you can even text in the chat box.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vaishali, if you could just put an opinion call and Rajat. Okay. Can we use trademark after applied? This question is from Mr. Goyal. Ms. Manisha, would you like to answer it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can use. We can use.
Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am, I'll just like to, you can stop your presentation if, yeah, thank you.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Okay,